All God said was, I'm waiting on you. I done already set the network up. I done already put everything in line. I'm waiting on you. So now I have to be obedient and just fall in line.
You just dropped a real nugget. God said he set it up and he's waiting on you. When we get answered prayer, that's answered before we even ask. When the prayer is already answered, but even before the ask, Jazz and Tammy, I'm going to let you talk first, Tammy, then I'm going to let Jazz talk. What has to shift in you when you get the answer before the ask?
Tammy, don't take my answer.
Can I say that again?
Yeah, say it again.
What has to shift in you when you get the answer before the ask? Go ahead, Tammy.
You said first. Yeah, it all starts with the mindset. The mindset, the will, your drive, your intention. Your intention. I posted something a couple of days ago, which I was listening to Sarah Jess. She said the impact versus the intention versus the impact. So to me, that still goes back to the mindset. Your thinking process, all that has to change, because guess what? Somewhere along the way, when I stopped, even though I was stopping for the holidays, somewhere along the way, Satan creeped in, and it was a little doubt. Because he'll creep in and give you a little doubt to make you think that you're unworthy, to make you think, they're not going to support you. So it has to be your mindset. So you got to speak to the situation. Go ahead and speak it. Look, I've been saying my overflow all day, send to my kids, all that. So you got to already know that you're already in your design purpose, and you got to just keep going forward.
Okay, Jazz, it's your time.
Listen, I'm a Sarah Jakes fan too, so me and you got a lot in common. But I'm going to say, when you ask what has to shift in me when I get the answer before the ask?
Yeah, what has to shift in you?
Yeah, my excuses. It's back to what you just asked me. My excuses as to why. Sometimes God will call us and tell us to do something, and we will come up with every reason why it wasn't God that said it. Or it ain't true. Because you get the answer before the ask. So it's like, this can't be. How? Just like she said, doubt, questioning, worry, the devil, the looking at what you do have in the house. Do I have enough? Do I have the capacity? The availability? Coming up with every excuse.
Watch the value of that.
Come on. My excuses got to shift.
Jazz, would you agree that it will be the mindset? Because excuses come from where?
The mind. Absolutely. Yeah.
And it could be the lack of immaturity as well, too. But hey, although that's why I tell people a lot of times with me, a lot of people people judge you by their cover. They're saying, look, I have doubt, I have insecurity, I have all of that, and just the way how you deal with the situation, how you deal with it determines the outcome. So for me, all I need, like yesterday night I can heal. Just for me, when pressure's applied to me, then I just put my foot on the gas, right? Okay. And then sometimes when the foot is on the gas and it's no braking, then okay, I know to keep on going. Now I know to go forward even when I have doubt, because I never give Satan the authority, but he'll keep on trying. But it's still, I think the more he's trying, the more excuses that we then come up with. So definitely. So now at this point, Jess, what that means? No more excuses, right?
No more.
That part, no more excuses. I'm gonna bag you up with that. Like when I have anything to come my way to try to tear me off, not only do I keep the foot on the gas, just like you said, it reminds me that the devil wouldn't be on my heels if I didn't need to keep going.
Woo!
So it makes me want to go even harder, even further.
That's right.
Okay, Tammy, I know you're at work. I just wanted to let you know how real it was. You are on live radio all across the world, because if somebody taps in to www.760The Gospel, they will be hearing you and listening to you now. So before you get off
drop
here,
your Instagram.
Yeah, shout out your Instagram, where people can find you on your social media handles, and tell us again when that podcast is coming, because you and Jazz, I'm just kind of playing the producer right now between the two of y'all. You said Sarah Drake. She jumped up all up there. Yeah, that's my girl right there. That was Sarah Jakes. But anyway, I'm not going to get on the Sarah Jakes. Shout out to Sarah Jakes if you ever see or hear this. But anyway, tell us, Tammy, where can we find you, and when is the podcast coming?
Podcast will be starting back up December the 4th, Tuesday, 2023. I am also a certified life coach, self-empowerment life coach. So my website is www.unlockyourpotentialself.com. You can find me at tholmes_co. That's THOLMES_CO. Also at Unlock Self on Instagram, Facebook, Tammy Holmes. And I have a Real Talk with T Holmes page also on Instagram and Facebook.
So last question: when I'm gonna be a guest on your show?
The first episode, December 4th, 2023. Time will be coming.
Cool. Well, listen, we're gonna let you get back to work. We're glad you called in.
Yes,
we're gonna
pleasure.
Promote everything that you do. Thank you for getting on the live this morning on the Capri Cares. Know that I care that I know. I will be mentioning your book. Tammy, you didn't mention your book, so tell them about your book real fast again.
Hey, when the storms was raging, I never gave up. It's just a life and tell some of the hardest storms that I faced in my life, but how God stood me. I stood on God's word and stood firm and prayed my way through every situation, because giving up is never an option. They will make you think that giving up is the easy way out, but actually it's the coward way out. You gotta, as I said on Saturday, it's the difference between walking and taking a journey. The journey is the process of when you get there, of getting there, and not how long it's gonna take. So when the storms was raging, I never gave up. It's on Kindle. You can get it on Amazon as well. And also you can go to www.unlockyourpotentialself.com and purchase the book from there as well.
Well, listen, I need everybody to go to Unlock Your Potential, www.unlockyourpotential, because, hey, all that money goes directly to you. Hey, girlfriend, thank you for tuning in today. I'm grateful that you called in. I'm grateful that you were obedient. I'm grateful that God gave you your answer. Absolutely. Even before you asked.
That part.
I'm grateful for that. You dropped 2 words. What you said, intentionality?
All that.
And something Sarah Jake said. Did you write it down, Jazz?
Yeah, I got it.
Something about intent. What did you say, Tammy, about intent or something?
Impact, the intentions versus the impact.
That is.
Intentions versus the impact.
Intentions versus impact. Well,
Don't
listen,
miss the
y'all.
mark. That just came from Don't Miss the
Real Talk with Tammy. Hey, it's coming back to you. Studio here, studio there, YouTube. We cannot wait. Hey, girlfriend, we'll talk later. Have a good one, all right?
All right, thank you.
All right, bye-bye. Well, we're just getting a whole lot of work today. And now you're learning that it's work.
It's work.
And I want you to understand we still have to impact and intent, right? We got to unpack those 2 words. I'm wrestling between my reason and my excuse.
Yes.
I'm still wrestling. Mm-hmm. I give a God an excuse because I have a reason.
Or you give God an excuse that'll conflict with the reason. Sometimes your reason is what God gave you. Like your why. But your excuse will mess it up. Throw you off your journey. It depends on how you look at the reason.
You had to.
Yeah, I had to evaluate the reason
first.
Yeah, is this a good thing? Is this a God thing? I call myself doing that a lot, and it's cool. I'm cool with God like that though. Like y'all should build a relationship with him, where I can really ask him. Okay, I heard what you said. Now I need you to like run it back one more time, because I need to really make sure that this is like part of your will, what you have for me, the reason why my journey is like this, the reason why you took me here, you took me there, the reason why I got to do this and I got to do that. My reason.
Okay, back up. You said, and I applaud it. I wish I had my machine. You had that relationship with God.
Yeah.
How did you get that comfortable with God that you can ask more questions?
When you done all you can and tried all you can and exhausted every outlet that you have, and you don't have anything else, that's how I got to where I am with it. I exhausted all of what Jazz could do, and I got to that place where I just could not do anything else. And God let me do it.
But you saw the value of 3. How many times?
Listen, I try to make it fit a lot every time.
Even today.
Yeah.
I still see the value of 3.
Yeah. He was with me through it all. So much so to when I got to the last thing that I could have possibly done myself. And I said, God, I don't have nothing else. He was response, good, now I can start.
That's what he said.
Good. Good. You done? Good.
When God tells you you're done. When
Now
he
I
says,
can start.
Are you done? Are you
So
done?
I can start.
Are you done?
So I can start.
Are you done?
That part.
When you get to the "Are you done's" from
Mm-hmm.
God, let me say this, and you can say, let me add, take away, or scratch it off. When
Yeah.
you get to the "Are you done?" there's no more excuse, and there's no more reason.
No.
Because you've run out of both.
You've run out of both.
You've literally run out of both. I have no more excuses. I have no more reasons to give you a no.
Yeah. Because I didn't try it all. I didn't did it all.
I've exhausted 3.
All 3.
All of 3.
All of it.
Never getting to 11. Not with 74.
No.
So here's the uncomfortable part of this equation.
Yeah.
When I begin to add the value of something that has value, I change the value of the 7 and the 4.
That part.
And the house can only hold a 7 and a 4.
And an 11.
So what do I get when I add the 7 plus the 4, which is 11, plus the 3? Now I have a totally different number that can't fit in the house.
Now your house is full.
Well, it was full.
It was already full. Now it's like overload. You got to get rid of something.
Write this down, everybody. It just hit me in my spirit. Tammy, I hope y'all still listening. You have to discern the difference between your overflow and your overload.
That part. Now, okay, so now that part. Your overflow and your overload.
Let's talk. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't confuse the two.
You cannot.
You stop right.
Because you cannot.
But it's so easy.
Absolutely. They look similar at times.
Value is added on both.
When you add,
can we say that?
Yes,
value
it looks
is
similar.
added in both.
And overload would look like you live in an overflow.
Ooh, shut your mouth. Ooh.
Yeah, that's how the enemy works. He'll make you think that it's an overflow.
When it's overload.
When it's an overload.
Something you can't manage. Something you can't handle.
It makes you lose your mind. Start messing with your health because you can't manage that. You can't handle it. Like, that's not a stretching. That's a stressing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's overloading.
It's an overload.
Yeah. In college, what they say, take an overload.
A overflow is when you still got room for more of that to keep coming.
It's smooth.
It's smooth. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing right now, and that's just going to keep on coming. If I gotta do more than what God has told me to do for it, that's an overload. Like, that's an overload. If He didn't tell me to do that, I'm overloading myself.
Y'all listening?
It's an overload.
Y'all listening? Be Mason, what's going on? Are y'all listening? Instagram. Be Brandon. Call in 242 or 615-242-7760. Anybody can call in who's on Instagram. Y'all can call in. Please call in. Jazz,
listen,
I'm learning.
I am too.
Jazz said, wait a minute.
I am too. Because I think, I needed that. I needed you to say what you just said.
The Lord, give God credit.
Yeah,
come on.
He already know what's up.
Right, but you needed to hear that.
I needed to hear that because your overload will look like overflow. When you started talking to us about overflow 2 weeks ago, and I started decreeing that thing, like God give me overflow, He started maximizing and putting in bold what was an overload for me to get rid of. And I was like, well, God, I think I might need that. And He was like, but do you? But do you?
Overflow.
But do you?
But
when I stopped focusing on that, I was like, well, let me go on and get rid of that. That's how God works too, y'all. We take our time with God sometimes, and sometimes it just needs to be like, I can't say it the way I want to because we're on the radio, right? Sometimes you gotta get you in that place where it's like you ain't got that much time to decide whether you gonna keep this or not. When I got this ready for you,
it's gotta go now.
Like now, I need for you to let it go. Like now. And then I started seeing how stuff started to flow.
The overflow. Not the overload.
It be the small, simple stuff like, man, that gas handles show sitting in that same spot 3-4 days in a row and they move.
Right, and you've traveled 75 miles.
But the minute that I was like, I gotta rip and run and do this, that, and the third to put gas in,
overload.
That's an overload.
I needed that one.
when somebody asked me literally last week, how did you get to the place where you are now, where you're that confident in God's ability? And it's moments like that where I'm like, if he tell me to stop and I stop, but I can keep going. If he tell me to stop, yet I can keep going. Who wouldn't trust a God like that? I'm tired. I'm weary.
If he tells you
I'm
to
wounded.
stop, but I keep going.
And allows me to keep going. That's a different place to sit in with God when he tell you to stop something, to keep going.
There you go. To stop
when
this.
He tell me to stop,
but
so I can keep going.
That's overflow. But when he tells me to stop,
why won't I stop? My excuse will be because I need a 3.
In this fact family, that doesn't bring the value that's needed.
Yeah, that's good and all because that has value, but do you need that?
Right.
Because do
you really need that?
If you stop that so we can keep going here.
You said something so powerful. You said, God will tell you to stop so that you can keep going.
Yeah. And
my story is I'm working on a dissertation and I had to stop.
I didn't use your whole notepad.
It's okay. No, that's yours. That's fine. That's it. I had to stop so that I could keep going because the area of influence that he was bringing me to didn't necessarily need what I was working on. And I was still going to be just as influential if I would have not had it or had it.
That part.
But that's the thing we get to love about God. He sees further down the road than us, as the old folks say. And when he tells us to stop, it's not that he's making us stop.
It's so we can keep going.
I probably and possibly would have burnt out my systems or burnt out the system I was working in had I kept going.
Yeah. Yeah, in that.
Which would have disrupted this.
That you're doing.
Now. No, like now.
Yeah, like where you're at.
10/24/2023. I would have possibly and probably interrupted this had I kept going in that in 2011.
Talk to me. Talk to me.
No, real talk.
Yeah, I had plenty of them.
Yeah, like now in hindsight, now I'm still. I carry that title that I was working on
in a more impactful, influential way.
But what did Sarah J.
But your intention, it's the intention versus the impact. So with Sarah, the example that she gave us in the sermon, she just taught this on Sunday in the sermon called Mr. Mark, because we can be our intentions,
which are
like
sometimes good,
or sometimes right. But is your intention? How is your intention impacting what you were intentional about?
Okay.
So your intention is one thing, but is it impactful in that way or in another way? My intention is to tell you about your self-heal.
Okay.
But the way that you receive it is how impactful it is.
Right.
So I still got to make sure that I'm delivering it so it's impactful with my intention. And so your intention was to get the degree that you got right now.
Right.
But would it have been as impactful?
And what would I have destroyed, demolished, torn up? First of all, I would have been rebellious because they said stop. And I don't know my rebellion is going to impact somebody else regardless. I don't care what nobody say.
Yeah.
We always try to sometimes hoard our rebellion.
Yeah.
And think
it's just for us.
You are literally.
You mess up everybody connected to you and coming behind you. Talk my talk, Gil, because that's my life.
I'm messing up so much stuff with excuses and reason.
And overload.
Well, that's what they cross.
Yeah,
so
like
excuse plus reason equals overload, not overflow.
It mess up my overflow and everybody connected to me.
Because there's somebody who's going to literally reap from your overflow. But because you're in overload, you cannot have overflow and overload at the same space.
We can't.
So they're either going to get the benefits of your overflow or they're going to get the burden of your overload.
That part.
It's just how it works. And it's no gray area. It's no scheme. It's no fact family that I can give you. It's either one or the other. The blessings from the overflow or the burdens from the overload. It's that simple.
You should have seen my overload just to get to Dallas. So we didn't get to talk that.
Well, we got another week.
Yeah, I'm saying we didn't get to talk that. The week before, I was overloading.
Just to get there.
So I thought 3 days before is when he told me to stop, to keep going. And I went to Dallas off an overflow. And that I went to Dallas off an overflow. Not my own dime. An overflow.
But you had to just wait.
Stop. So you can keep going. Yeah. And if I don't go to Dallas, we ain't doing this right now.
You know this.
I know for a fact.
If you didn't get there, it wouldn't be this.
There was a nugget in the room with my name on it that I had to get there to get.
For the next season, which is now.
Come on, man. Yeah.
And then, like you said, what I said last week or what I was sharing, you get to class the next day, the teacher says the same thing. My pastor just spoke that.
I'm talking about.
Like, was you in the station with us? Was you listening?
Yeah.
And then something else, like you said, like when we was sharing over the meal, you was like, and now I got to do what I'm already doing. So you already in the overflow, which will be uploaded later. And they can go to the platform and say, you already do this? Yes, an hour every Tuesday. I have to believe and trust God to give me my lesson before I get there and my lesson while I'm there.
So I can keep going. Yeah.
So I can keep going.
That
but I have to stop.
Yeah, no, literally. I had to stop.
Yeah. Y'all, are y'all hearing this today? Are you literally hearing it?
I had to stop. Wrote a vision board and a plan on how I was going to get the stuff done.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's not a bad thing.
But if it don't align with God's plan.
Yeah. The intentionality.
It was an overload plan. Like, I need to do this and to do this and to do this and to do this and to do this. Just for me to get to here. And I'm crossing things off the vision board. But the journey wasn't nothing like what I wrote out. So, at the beginning of the year.
Nothing.
Not one thing.
Nothing?
Finishing degree.
Okay,
I'm going to go to class.
Yeah.
No, nothing.
Nothing?
You know, this time last year, you told me to start recording.
I did. I told you.
Nothing.
We was in the gym.
On the
treadmill.
Come on. 6 miles.
Did Jazz say, you made me walk 7 miles one day.
Yeah.
Like, you made me walk 7 miles, Pastor.
Talking about this, and it took months, overflow to Dallas.
Now I'm in it.
Now it's my phone. I'm running out of space. Like I was going through my other phone and clearing it out because I was like, we got to put all of this stuff on here.
Yeah.
You know, because that's what happened.
Yeah.
I just looked up and was like, he go to podcast right here.
Right. I told you.
Yeah.
Overflow.
By just walking.
But you was in living in overload.
I was trying to overload. I was trying to run. One guy was like, walk. Yeah.
Intention and impact. And it's all started, this whole conversation, y'all, literally started with facts.
With a fact family.
A fact family. And a little girl seeing a valuable number, but didn't add value to the fact.
That part.
Didn't add value to the fact. We done. We get
that part.
Just didn't add value to the fact.
Mm-hmm.
It had value, but it didn't add the value. And it significantly changed everything around it. And the significance, you might say, is insignificant because it was -1 from 4 or -4 from 7.
Mm-hmm.
But it's it doesn't matter how little the insignificance is, it's still insignificant.
It's still insignificant.
It's still insignificant.
Damn.
And everything changed.
Mm-hmm.
And then I added it and became an overload.
Mm-hmm.
And now the whole fact is obliterated.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, this is work, but that's why a lot of times it seems like, you know, people like to say living for God or walking this way is hard when you walking in overload. I'm there. I can't talk nothing less than that with people when I'm like, if you stop overloading. I ain't say you know what I'm saying?
No, we're not perfect.
Yeah,
we're getting
perfect.
it.
Nah.
But you understand today This is overload. This is overflow.
Yeah.
Overload comes when I take something that looks like it adds value.
I'm just doing life and it's overflow. I don't have to do anything more than that.
Listen, y'all, our time is up. We are out of time, but not out of talk. It's been, this is the Christian Business Connection now, but it's still, what's your name of your podcast? Say it.
Yeah, this is going to be from existing to evolving, the becoming.
With Lady Jazz. You've heard it here on the Yolanda and Cornelius show. Oh my God.
Listen.
This is your gospel station, Nashville. 760 AM.